Hi, welcome to Future Technos. Today we're diving into something that has stirred a lot of excitement in the world of smartwatches. This is the Garmin Fenix 8, the brand new flagship outdoor-focused sports watch that pushes the boundaries of what we've come to expect from Garmin. It's not just an upgrade, it's a statement, a watch built for athletes, adventurers, and anyone who wants their wrist to hold a tool that does far more than tell time. The Fenix 8 is packed with new functionality. Garmin has made big changes in durability, added dive features, introduced a speaker and microphone, and overhauled the entire user interface. These are not small tweaks. These are core changes that redefine how the Fenix series feels and functions. And this time, the Fenix 8 isn't standing alone. Garmin has also unveiled the Enduro 3, built for ultra-long battery life, and the new Fenix E, which offers a streamlined version of the flagship at a lower cost. I've been testing the Fenix 8 for weeks in real-world conditions. Gravel biking, mountain biking, running, hiking, even weight training. My time with this watch has shown how it handles accuracy, GPS performance, elevation tracking, navigation, and everyday use. And let me tell you, it has been fascinating to see how far Garmin has pushed the technology this time. Let's start with the hardware. Just like the Fenix 7 and the Fenix 7 Pro, the Fenix 8 comes in three sizes: 51mm, 47mm, and now a slightly larger small version at 43mm instead of 42. Another big change: Garmin has merged the Epix lineup into the Fenix family. That's right, Epix is gone as a separate name. Now the Fenix 8 can be bought either as a memory and pixel solar model or as an AMOLED version. This clears up confusion and makes the decision simple. Do you want solar efficiency, or do you prefer the brilliant AMOLED screen? One detail worth noting is that the 43mm version doesn't have a solar option. Garmin says this is due to limitations in stacking the display with the solar panel at that size. But in the AMOLED models, even the smaller watches now carry larger screens. The 47mm AMOLED Fenix 8 actually uses the same 1.4-inch display as the biggest 51mm version. That's impressive, and it makes the midsize option far more appealing for those who want screen size without bulk. The displays themselves are more efficient now too. Garmin has boosted solar efficiency and removed the translucent solar panel that used to sit on top of the display. That means better readability, sharper contrast, and a cleaner view, especially in bright light. I've been testing mostly the AMOLED version, and it feels more vivid and responsive than any Fenix before. Now, before we go deeper into the Fenix 8, let's quickly touch on the other new releases. The Fenix E is designed to give you the rugged build and many core features of the Fenix 8, but without some of the extras. No dive functionality, no speaker or mic, a slightly older heart rate sensor, and less onboard memory. It comes only in a 47mm AMOLED version with a 1.3-inch display. At $799, it could be the perfect choice for someone who wants high performance at a lower price. Then there's the Enduro 3, Garmin's new battery life champion. This watch is built for ultra-endurance athletes who want to keep going not for hours, not for days, but for weeks. With solar efficiency improvements and an upgraded heart rate sensor, it can potentially run indefinitely under the right sunlight conditions. It doesn't have a mic or dive features either, but it's clearly designed for athletes who care about one thing above all else: staying powered on the longest adventures. Back to the Fenix 8. At first glance, it looks similar to the Fenix 7 series, but the differences become clear quickly. One standout is the new leak-proof buttons. Traditional buttons need openings in the case. These buttons use inductive sensors, the same kind of tech Garmin uses in its descent dive watches. That's why the Fenix 8 is now dive-capable down to 40 meters for recreational single-gas scuba and snorkeling. It's not a full dive computer like the Descent Mark III, but it gives divers a powerful new option without needing a specialized device. These buttons do feel different. The old physical click has been replaced with a haptic feedback response. It takes a little getting used to. Personally, I still prefer the mechanical feel of older models, but the durability and waterproofing benefits here make a strong case. And speaking of diving, the certification has been upgraded. The Fenix 8 carries the EN 13319 dive standard, the same as other dedicated dive instruments. Add in snorkeling modes, surface interval tracking, and time-to-fly alerts, and suddenly the Fenix 8 feels less like a sports watch and more like a multi-environment tool. Battery life has also been improved. The 47mm and 51mm versions both last longer than before across both AMOLED and solar models. Even with heavy use, always on display, brightness set high, SpO2 tracking during sleep, and daily workouts, I was consistently getting about 7 days from the AMOLED model. If you're lighter on settings or using solar models, the number goes much higher. During outdoor activities, especially with GPS and maps running, battery burn increases, but performance matched or exceeded Garmin's claims. Even in navigation-heavy sessions, the watch held its ground. The smallest version does not see an upgrade in battery life, but since it now has a bigger screen, that trade-off feels balanced. Another big new feature is the addition of a microphone and speaker. You can now use voice commands for tasks like starting activities, skipping tracks, setting timers, or saving waypoints. It isn't completely hands-free. You still press a button to activate the voice input, but it adds speed and flexibility. Taking geotagged voice notes is another interesting addition. Imagine marking a trail note or observation without typing anything. The mic and speaker also enable calls, voice assistance, and basic music playback. Don't expect amazing sound quality, but in a pinch, it works. Notifications are richer too, with chimes and tones instead of just simple beeps. On Android, you can even respond to text with predefined replies, while iPhone users have a Siri workaround to answer messages. Directly from notifications, the user interface is where Garmin has made some of the most visible changes. This is a full revamp. They know their watches gather enormous amounts of data, and presenting it cleanly is crucial. Now, widgets, notifications, and activities feel more organized. For example, pressing the up button from the watch face brings you straight into a notification center. You can disable this if you prefer the older style, but the new layout feels faster. Customization of text size is also far better. During setup, you can pick your preferred size from multiple options instead of just standard or large. Widgets use the screen space better now, with more detailed charts, better colors, and improved readability. One clever addition is the temporary touchscreen unlock. Before, the touchscreen was either on or off. Now, it locks when idle but can be unlocked with a simple swipe, making navigation on maps much easier without losing button reliability. Activities also have a new structure. Garmin calls them activity stages. When you start something, like a run, you'll see a start page with GPS strength and sensor status. Below that, you get training suggestions, workout menus, and navigation options. Swiping sideways gives you data pages and music controls. This is a shift from the old system and makes key features easier to reach. On the mapping side, Garmin has added a radius-based map scale, an easier toggle for track-up versus north-up views, and direct access to map layers. Navigation controls are now accessible through a simple menu instead of buried behind long button presses. Dynamic round-trip routing is also new. Tell the watch your target distance, and it generates a loop. If you wander off course, it dynamically adjusts directions to guide you back. For skiers and snowboarders, Garmin has gone further with ski maps. After a session, the watch now breaks down runs by difficulty ratings using GPS snap-to-run data. This gives far more detailed summaries, similar to what specialized apps provide. And when it comes to accuracy, both GPS and heart rate performance are rock solid. Multi-band satellite tracking keeps the Fenix 8 crisp, even in tight urban streets or rugged terrain. Heart rate readings with the 5th-generation sensor were consistently close to chest and arm strap monitors in most sports. Even during weight training and high-intensity intervals, where wrist sensors usually struggle, the Fenix 8 held up better than expected. So yes, the Fenix 8 is Garmin's most capable watch yet, but it does come at a higher price. The solar and AMOLED options push the cost higher than the Fenix 7 Pro at launch. If older models get discounted, the decision may be tricky. After all, the Fenix 7 Pro and Epix Pro already cover most of what the Fenix 8 does. The main differences are dive features, mic and speaker, and the revamped interface.